Hi Capricorn, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your March 2024 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who like, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, the Celtic Girl spread as always, and I also pulled a 4 agreements and wisdom of the oracle card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your folks should be as far as that goes. Alright, we have 3, and third house energy for you guys is Pisces, so it makes sense to see that come up because we're just about to start Pisces season and we'll be in it for the first few weeks of March, of course. And third house in general points to communication, short journey siblings. We've had Saturn there for quite some time, Neptune as well, and there's going to be a new moon in Pisces, so plenty of things going on there. Right? We have Uranus, so Uranus is actually in your 5th house of romance, creativity, and children. And when we do have that Pisces new moon that I was just talking about, it's actually going to make a supportive aspect with Uranus in Taurus. All right, and we have Cancer. So Cancer is actually your 7th house of partnerships, contracts, relationships, and astrologically speaking, it's a little quiet there right now, but could still be some focus on area of life for you guys this month. All right, so with all that out of the way, we'll get started with the main spread. Right, in the main situation position, we have the Knight of Pentacles, Virgo energy, and challenging that, we have the King of Swords, Aquarius energy. So, now, given that this is Pentacles energy, even though it's Virgo, this could more represent your energy, right? It could just be saying that maybe you could be coming forward to someone with an offer, right? Maybe even to collaborate around something, and you might find that you're met with resistance from that person. So, for some of you, if let's say, given that Virgo is an energy that often connects to work, and so does Capricorn, right? So it could just be saying, as a generic example, you come forward with an idea to someone within the work environment, and they might seem really resistant to it, right? And it might be a little offensive because I feel like, showing that this is the Knight of Pentacles, I feel like this is an idea that you've mulled over for a long time, right? And you might feel like this person's energy toward it is just a little bit cold and dismissive when you present it. Right, in the foundation position, we have the 7 of Swords. So this is more Aquarius energy here. So one thing I would say is to definitely be careful of, so let's say it is around a workplace thing, right? And you come up with this innovative idea and someone says, no, that sounds really impractical, right? Or they come up with excuses to shoot the idea down, but then the next thing you know, they present the idea and present it as their own idea, right? So if it's someone that you feel like you can't necessarily trust within the workplace, I feel like definitely be able to worry of bringing something up like that to them, unless there's some kind of email chain or something like that that would prove that, no, actually I was the one who came up with the idea, right? So I would just say just be on the lookout for that this month. But yeah, I would say just in general, if you feel like whatever this situation is around, it doesn't necessarily have to be a workplace thing. If it's an investment opportunity, let's say something like that, and someone seems like they're not necessarily too open to the idea, I feel like it's saying that there's a little bit of deception around that. All right, in the past position, we have the Fool. So yeah, for some of you, to be fair, maybe that's what they're trying to say, right? They might say, oh, you know, I've done something very similar to that in the past, and it didn't work out well, right? So for some of you, maybe they do partially mean well, but I feel like there's just something a little shady about that, though. And this could just be saying that maybe this was you in the past, right? So maybe if this is more of an internal dialogue with yourself, right? Where you're like, okay, yeah, I kind of want to come forward with this thing, but then you might talk yourself out of it, right? Like, oh, in the past, you know, this happened, that happened. So then you might stop yourself from coming forward with something that you've been working on. I feel like then you might need to look at that because it looks like it would be a good idea. It's just a matter of presenting it to the right people. All right. In the present position, we have the 10 of Wands. So yeah, you could just be feeling a little bit overburdened right now, right? So I feel like this is another sign that, yeah, whatever this is, you've worked on it for quite some time, and I feel like it could just be saying that now holding it in is just starting to wear you down a little bit, right? So I feel like it does need to come out in some way, but it's just a matter of making sure you're presenting it to the right audience. All right, in the near future position, we have the World. So yeah, it could just be saying that this situation is coming up because you are meant to learn something from it, right? And for some of you, it could also just be saying that you are well equipped to handle the situation as well. So if there's a little bit of fear around that, right, I feel like this could give you some comfort there to say that it looks like whatever the situation is, even if you feel like you're not necessarily ready to handle it, it looks like you are. All right. In the position of your influence in the situation, we have the Ten of Pentacles. So yeah, to me, this says it looks like you're pretty comfortable already, right? You have a decent level of stability, right? You feel a certain level of comfort. But I feel like this is saying that at the same time, you might feel like it's a little bit stagnant too. So that's why you do want to take on something new, right? Present a new idea to someone. Show them maybe a way to improve on things that are already good, right? But maybe they could be even better. So I feel like you're just feeling this nudge to where you want to get a little bit more creative with what you do in your day to day. All right, in the environment position, we have the Page of Swords. So yeah, seeing this here, if this is your energy, I would say that maybe that would resonate for more than I initially thought. That maybe this is more of you talking yourself out of an idea, right? Like, I don't know if it's really gonna go over well, things along those lines, right? I feel like that's saying if that's the case, if this is more your energy, feeling a little bit of nervousness around communicating something, it looks like it would be more well received than you think it would. Um, but if this is someone else in your environment, right? Just keep in mind that if they seem to shoot down the idea initially, it might be because they could even be a little bit intimidated by where you're at. So, that could be what causes them to hesitate to just accept the idea from the beginning. And then it could just be saying that with that, they would warm up to it over time. All right. In the hopes or fears position, we have the Death card. So for some of you, this could be a fear here, right? You might feel like this situation might rock the boat. I mean, Scorpio energy, which is what this card represents, is your 11th house of groups, friendships. So, for example, maybe this is an idea you want to present to a friend, right? And you feel like, but I don't know. Hey, what if it causes conflict within the situation, right? I feel like that's, from what I see, it doesn't seem like it play out that way, but that could at least be a fear that you've had for a time. All right, and then the outcome position, we have the Six of Cups. So more Scorpio energy here. And again, going that this goes back to your house of friendships and groups. Let's just give it a generic scenario, right? So let's say this is you extending an apology to a friend, right? Because maybe you guys had a falling out over something, and initially it seems like they're totally cold when you come forward with the apology, right? And I feel like that's saying that initially, at least, they're going to take that approach because they'll feel like they quote unquote won, right? Like, oh, I won. I didn't let them get the best, right? They came forward and apologized, da da da, right? I feel like that's saying if that's the case with a little bit more time, they would come around to and realize, like, okay, yeah, that was kind of goofy of me to react in that way, right? And then they would extend the olive branch to you. And if this is more of another situation where you're coming forward and maybe reconnecting with something from your past, right? Revisiting an idea, right, that maybe for a long time you were fearful of putting out there, it looks like it will be well received regardless. So that looks like a good outcome there. And bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Wands. So yeah, I could just be saying that ideas might be flowing a lot for you this month, even if there's more so in your mind or through direct communication with others. So it's like there will be a lot of ideas flowing this month. Okay, so from the Four Agreements card, we have Don't Make Assumptions, and it says Learn to Ask Questions. Okay, it says it is always better to ask questions than to make assumptions. Have the courage to ask questions until you are as clear as you can be. Once you hear the answer to a question, you won't have to make assumptions because you will know the truth. So yeah, interesting message there, especially because we will have Mercury move into shadow a little bit past the midpoint of March. So of course that can start to increase the likelihood of misunderstandings with communication. But yeah, and this could just be saying that for some of you, if there was some kind of a falling out, right? Some of it could have been due to a misunderstanding. Maybe on your part, their part, maybe both, right? So could just be saying if you had some doubt around it, right? Where you're like, I don't know, the way that all ended seemed a little weird, right? Could just be nudging you forward to communicate to get that clarity. All right, and from the Wisdom Oracle, we have Yin. There's the artwork, and the number is 2. Let's see what this has to say. All right, essential meanings says the feminine principle of receptivity, letting someone else make the first move, gathering information and taking in cues, the art of conscious allowing. The Oracle's message: this is a time of calculated receptivity as you gracefully await what is coming to you, ready to accept it when it appears. Yin does not involve frozen dreams or even resting, but rather consciously allowing things to flow to you, poised to receive the bounty that will be made available to you. It implies sensitivity as you alertly study the actions of others and contemplate how they will affect you and yours. Remember, you must make space for miracles to appear. Be the shaped, not the shaper, and you'll see how quickly your dreams manifest. It's an interesting message there about being observant this month, right? So for somebody, that could be you called to be in a bit more of that Page of Swords energy and watch how others are moving around you, right? And then that could help you figure out what to do next. Okay, the relationship message says, let others take the lead right now. Your power lies in small gestures, self-awareness, and conscious surrender. By yielding the reins, you will find yourself effortlessly moving closer to what you truly desire. Permit others to tell you who they are and who they can be to you by allowing their actions to speak about them. You'll be pleasantly surprised. So yeah, interesting message there, right? Because I didn't necessarily see a pushy energy from your side at all, but could just be saying that even if that's something you're more comfortable doing, is taking a lead in situations, it could just be saying that you could still totally present your ideas, express your desires, right? But then once you do that, see what the other person does in response, right? All right, and the prosperity message says, this is a time when the most effective action is to allow others to show you the way forward. Observe their behavior and follow their lead. Your desire to push through must take a back seat for now. Collaborate and offer your ideas rather than dictating what must happen. Let others come to you. It's important that they feel they have power now. Another meaning is about releasing your need to have things in the form you want. How do you want to feel, basking in your success? Now allow the universe to show you the form. Yin is the sign of essence. Things may go more smoothly than you expect. So that message there definitely stood out to me, where it said others have to feel they have power now, right? Because at one point, I think I mentioned that seeing this here could just be saying that when you present an idea, it might actually make the other person involved feel intimidated, right? So again, I still stand by what I said as far as if you do present an idea, right, and you're a little wary of someone, like would they shoot it down and then try to run with it and present it as their own, still make sure there's some kind of paper trail that shows that you did present the idea first, right? But then give them a little time to warm up to it from there, right? Like, okay, I said what I had to say, it's out there. Even if they shot it down, I'll just let them sit with it for a bit, and maybe they'll come revisit it. Like we said, maybe during Mercury retrograde, right? They might look at it from a different angle next month and say, oh, okay, actually, this does sound like a good idea, right? Something along those lines. So, hope whatever is any for you guys will wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.